So it's like a bank holiday overseas, public holiday. Pretty much everything is closed, mostly. Anyway, so let's see. I'm on a little folding bike. I don't know if you can hear anything because of the wind sounds, but it was pissing down with rain this morning, so the roads are wet. I'm on a folding bike. This road is as steep as fuck. I don't want to see my asshole, so I'm not gonna go fast. Like, this seat is a bit too high. Pull over for a second. Seat is just like, if it's 5 mil too high, I feel like you can just topple a little. It's a little head, what do you want to call it? A little bit nose heavy otherwise. I'm on a folding frame. When you ride these bikes, I've enjoyed riding them for years. This is my third one. I've had a Dayhon, boardwalk years ago. I had 2 of those. What else did I have? I had one of the B-Twin bikes, which is a bicycle from Decathlon stores, their own brand. I bought their like flagship model they had, which was one of those like 1-second folds. That was an awesome bike. But I sold that because I got myself a really like ridiculously over the top 29er mountain bike that come in this car, go past me. See, even the 7-Eleven's closed. Yeah, pretty much everything's closed. So then I sold my folding bike once I had the mountain bike. I couldn't really justify having 2 bikes on the flat. I thought I'd get more use out of the mountain bike, and eventually I didn't, because it was like, I got it for a really good price from a friend, and you know, like to have bought it new as a replacement would have been like over 35,000-40,000 rand. You can't leave a bike like that in the shops. I'll just get nicked. It's like a pretty route there. Let's go somewhere different. Okay, there are some places open. So when I sold my folding bike, I immediately regretted it. One of the things about folding bikes is obviously sticking it in the car, and, whether it's your car or a taxi or on the bus. Hell, even the plane, I've flown around the world with it. I bought my folding bike in the UK. And take it around, obviously, the UK with me. Took it off to Europe. And then I went via the Seychelles because I was doing a show out there. I took my bike with me to the Seychelles, which was ridiculous. Well, I had it with me, I had no other option. And then like as I said, I sold it, and I kind of regretted it immediately. And then I recently sold my mountain bike because I just realized it was pointless. Like, literally a fat ton of cash just lying up in the bicycle that can't be used, and truth be told, I have no interest in really bolting down the mountain at top speeds. I like bike paths and the streets and commuting. I don't need to go up to the mountains. So yeah, it was an interesting story how this little bike came about, because ideally I wanted a folding bike, but it's
a little more of a rarity in the classifieds and Gumtree and things like that. When you want a bicycle, you'll find lots of normal gear, normal bicycles, racing bikes, mountain bikes, but not a lot of folding bikes. So what I realized was I always bought bikes for ex-girlfriends for some reason. Not except for the one, because she actually physically couldn't ride a bike, and that was part of a reason why I think we broke up, because it literally was like she was angry with me if I wanted to cycle, and I was angry with her that she couldn't. Anyway, I bought a bicycle for an ex-girlfriend before that was a great bicycle, but it was a little bit too big for her, so I eventually sold that and bought her another bike. I have a bit of a bicycle problem when it comes to exes. But what happened was, the bike that I bought her pretty much fit me as a frame, but I already had the folding bike that I'd spoken about, so there was no point in that, so that got sold. And Jesus, I bought a lot of bicycles. I got sold and used the money to buy another mountain bike for her, which was more suitable, which she completely didn't appreciate or thank me for ever, and I've got a chip on my shoulder about, but that's another story. Hello, squirrel. Oh gosh. I was looking for a bicycle, and I thought, well, I just need something to go to the shops. With selling my car and all that was recently, just to speed up a little, get a bottle of milk or that kind of crap. And as I was, excuse me, as I was looking for bicycles, I didn't really. I had this thing in my head going, you know that bike you bought for that girl? Like, that was a great bike. Why don't you buy another one of those? You really like that? I was like, that's a great idea. Thinking I shall look for it. Couldn't find one, and eventually came across one on Gumtree. And I was like, that's the bike. The guy listed it, looked at the pictures, it looked familiar. Everything looked familiar, like where it was and everything. I was like, oh, that's strange. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly the same bicycle as I bought for the ex-girlfriend. This one is a different color, but it's the exact same bicycle. And I was like, okay, cool. Dirt cheap. And the guy said he'd bring it into town from Bloberg for me, so I'm like, fuck, win, win, win. And then as we like sending him mails back and forth, I went like, did you sell one of these by chance before, about 2-3 years ago? And he went, yeah, I did. A black one. I was like, dude, I bought it. Turned out I bought his other bicycle. And then whilst chatting to him, it worked out like, oh yes, I remember he had a whole bunch of cool shit. He had like scooters like I had. We had similar interests in toys. And he had a bunch of folding bikes. I said, do you have folding bikes? He goes, yeah, they're advertised too. I was like, you're kidding. So he's like, well, do you want a folding bike? I do. So for, I think about 500 Rand more I gave him, and he brought into town this absolutely fantastic little giant Expressway 1, and I'm loving it. It's the lightest one I've had of all my folding bikes. It does have a nice riding position. We're here in Company Garden with a mix of buskers and tourists, and there's an arch that's coming up here at the moment that's being constructed that, anyway. Yep. There's a lot of...
Tell you about the hotel is in the Victorian outfit. Waterfront, there's Queen Victoria. Statue.
Tourists. It's good to see. This is a city filled with them. I don't know if you ever get to travel to other parts of South Africa. You'll see other people from all over the world who live in South Africa, but not with quite the level of real tourism that Cape Town makes up. It's amazing here. Okay, so where am I now? I'm going down St. George's Mall. It's on Monday, public holiday. Everything's closed, so I'm not really bothering too many pedestrians doing this. It's lovely. But I'm not riding like a real slow ass motherfucker, but my wheels are slick. I mean, the roads are wet. And I am not wearing a helmet. I know. I'm going to buy one. I seem to have lost it. I might have left it in an Uber. So that sucks. But anyway. Oh, there's a guy there. I didn't really show him.
So what they did now is it's all this hard to make it the given people.
Shame. You should do some investigation on that, man. He's come up to me a few times. He's told me stories from PE. And he's very mentally ill. And it's... I don't know, maybe we have this plan and we all just assume there's some care in the community backup scheme that we just like, yeah, eventually, I don't know, somebody comes around and just picks people up in some sort of, you know, what do you want to call it, humanitarian mission to help those who are mentally ill. But the truth is, it's the complete fucking opposite. You end up being completely abandoned by society. And, excuse me. One of the really awkward things of this man's mental illness is a predisposition for his genitals to fall out of his pants. And I mean, like, I don't really know what the ethics and what the social circumstances are to deal with people who need help. When, yeah, shit, but the answer is, yeah, help him get help. Call someone. Who? Fuck. Anyway. I've seen his wanky fall out his pants several times. And I'll be honest with you. It's disturbing. Coming up to Long Street. It's quite cold. It's been raining heavily. These little city guns. If you want to laugh, go in there. Jeez. Interesting. They've got they have guns for Africa, which is downstairs, where you can go and rent. Go to the indoor firing range and you can go and, I'm not like hire because you have to be there with the instructor, but go and shoot AK-47s and Glocks and AR-15s, you name it. Great fun. Sneaky, sneaky, going through to be safe, because I think it's sometimes you're safer if you also break the rules. Anyway, don't judge me. You don't know me. See, it's green for the walking man. Here we are. Christ, it's cold. I thought you said it was open. Oh, I'm such a douche. Went to Jason's bakery, not fucking Mardo. Oh well, more bike ride. Okay, so I'll go a bit faster now. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. There's a bike back here anyway. That's what this was created for, which I'll use it. Sadly, it's only on days like today when there's public transport, or should I say public holiday, you can use it. Normally it's double parked and you end up having to cross out from a cycle lane into the traffic, which makes it twice as dangerous. Look at me waiting for the light. Hello there. I can't, unfortunately. Sorry, my dear. Jesus. literally don't have any cash on me. I've got to get some money out of the bank. Oh, fuck. Society, man. What do you do? Life, man. It's actually... I've always been overtly sympathetic, aware. I've always been emotionally aware of problems in society, but they seem to be bearing down so much heavier on me today. The last few months I've noticed a dramatic rise in the visibility of poverty. And I'm in a position of privilege where I make income relatively easily for what it is I have to do, you know? I don't have to work in a public holiday digging up a road, like for example. Life is easy. I've been infinitely blessed, even though I'm really going through quite a tight financial period at the moment. It's the beginning of the working season for me, so from here onwards it's all hopefully happy days, because this is the busy time. But it hasn't been busy for over a year. Had a very quiet season in the film industry in Cape Town last year, or this year, but like January, summer till now. It was a huge drop in business. I mean, I saw about 10-15% of the work I'd normally get in a season. It was massive. But optimism and all that kind of stuff, we'll see what happens for this year, but I'm not overly concerned, but I haven't worked for a year. Pennies are drying up. Spent lots of cash on unimportant things. And now I have exactly what I need. And ready to go. Okay, so coming up in it now. So it's coming up my arse a bit fast. Anyway, that's been a fun little cycle. Clear my head, put some blood in the veins. Time for a coffee. Croissant. A little treat. This is up a brie. Gone a little fancy recently. Here we go. That's enough for now. Let's turn this off.
Some sort of march.
sure how smooth all this is, but see the footage later. It's chilly, the wind's howling. Down, ruins me and my camera. You can see the arch. I'll bring the bicycle up. That should be enough for it. Oh, Smiths. No, thanks. Suid-Afrikaanse ondering in lewensversekeringsgenootskap. Jesus, what a word. Lewensversekeringsgenootskap. Anyway. Hello to Malawi. die bly daar in die ou Mutualhof. It's coming up down Darling Street. How are you?
Hey, that's your camera.
I'm filming right now.
You're filming nothing.
Yeah.
No, you're filming me.
I'm filming you. You're famous.
Oh my God.
I'm riding around and I thought, you know what? You go slow on a bicycle that sits, it's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
I'm just filming all the cool shit. Show some of my friends.
Everything is in town now.
And nice and quiet because it's a public holiday.
Public holiday.
Yeah.
I came here to buy some medicine for my boy.
Oh really? Hello there, how are you? This is my place. I'm here all the time.
You are around here, no?
Yeah, I'm up the road over here.
Up here.
Are you working tonight?
Yeah, tonight we're working because it's fundraiser tonight.
Oh shit. I enjoy it. I'm gonna
But why you didn't be there? You're supposed to be there all week.
No. I was doing one night. Des asked me to do a bunch of nights, and then I had some other things to do.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be like second week of October. I'm there for the full week.
No problem.
Because I haven't gigged in ages. I've got to go and I gotta go write some new
Next
shit.
time I will show.
See you soon. That's Bruno, the doorman at Cape Town Comedy. Hell of an interesting story with that man. He's from the Congo. Wanted to teach a bunch of us to box a while back, and all I can say is this: if that man fucking hit you, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. It would be one of the few times you wouldn't know if you were hit, because it would end. Your life would end the moment he hit you. He showed me some footage of him hitting a heavy bag, and it's Tyson-esque. Man's a beast. Anyway, it's always nice to know that you've got a comedy club that's got a doorman that's got your back, so I can complain, and he's a good man. Anyway, so this year is the City Hall. A couple of years ago we performed in here with Pants on Fire and Cape Town Fringe. Cape Town Fringe is running at the moment, but not from City Hall. In those steps right over there that Mandela made his inaugural speech to the people when he was released. And I stood here on the left at the memorial when he died. Cool. I think as a country, my goodness, do we miss that man. This is a place very much needing some leadership. Anyway, let's continue on the little cycle. Like this Grand Parade's been used for quite a few events over the last couple of years since, I guess, the World Cup. That was the, what do you call it, the fan mile. Let's go around the castle. Anyone who doesn't know this history of Cape Town, not always the most, what's the word? Not always the happiest of histories, but at least if you want to know what happened, it's been documented. We know. I'll swing around a moment towards the castle. Some shit around here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really smells of shit.
It's really nice, thank you.
And there's a perfect sign when you're... people use this little pond here actually to draw water to wash cars from the homeless community. And as I said, it smells of shit. That would be because there's people shitting here. It's a very unfortunate space. Lots of folks have recently taken to this is an area to bed down for the night because really, I don't know why. What do they do? Choose it here? It gets battered with the storms down here too. Good catch. Good catch. School's group here, just doing a little tour. Castle of Good Hope, 1665. Friday, Tuesday, Sunday, 30 Rand, citation is 15. Don't fall on your pee hole, Evans. What's this? I've never been here. Let's have a look. Probably not supposed to cycle, but hey, it's the smooth camera transitions I'm going for. Okay. We could have come here for a bri. This appears to be it. Okay. I imagine feral community of the homeless will probably try and get in here, I guess, but they don't because, well, there's some barbed wire and some other things, but this was the initial fortress in the Cape, and it kind of makes sense. The water came right up to here. Fancy LEDs. See, maybe I can go up here as well. There's a series of streams that run from Table Mountain, permanent water sources, and gave the company gardens, which you rode through earlier, the sort of irrigation for that, and ended up down here. And these streams have been covered in a couple of YouTube videos just recently showing how the water has, it just runs to nothing. It's an absolute total waste. It's tragic. Interesting building, highly underutilized. Love to do more events here. I've done quite a number of events myself over the years. From being involved at from being involved in, you know, comedy productions or like commercial gigs or corporate gigs, you should call them, through to going through for like outdoor movie festivals, and you know, and over the years, it's a handful of times that I get to go there, and it's been really just such an awesome space. We should use it more. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to contact them and get something in there. It's great. Lower section of what would have been, yes, the introduction of District 6. I don't want to be that guy, but also don't want to be knocked off my feetsies, so move out the way. Don't say bitch, I'm not a rude man. Oh fuck it, let's go down this way. I'm gonna go a bit faster now. Good Hope Centre. Am I going this way? Appears that I am. I suppose this is a Monday. Shit, I wonder if I'm going to make it. The bus leaves on the hour on public holidays, I believe, from the City Hall. Well, let's see if we can make it. Mentioned when I started off that cycling downhill in Cape Town obviously doesn't pose sort of like cardio issues, because, well, you just point the bike, pedal once to turn the wheel in. Mostly hold onto the brakes for dear life because it's so fucking steep, but cycling back up's a different sport. Ironically as well, someone ever asked, have you seen this? What are people doing here? Fuck. Let's go through the taxi rank, shall we? It's a safer way of... Oh fuck, I almost lost it. Probably gonna miss it anyway, but... Taxi rank down there. Not a place I really want to walk around with the camera. Not that it's going to be stolen, it's just objectifying people and standing out as someone who wants to film. They look like a bit of a douche. So yeah, you were, should we say, your camera was reappropriated because you were like filming it. You could have to argue, what are you fucking filming it for? Maybe on something like the bicycle like this it does it. Oh Christ, here we go. Get down. Yeah, you see, occasionally things like missing bricks will make you see your keyhole if you don't time things appropriately. I'm really hoping the bus is still here because it leaves on the hour. As I read the signs. Let's see if there's something here for me. That was my bus. Is that my bus? That's my bus. Perfect. Friendliest people, the bus drivers, I can say that much. Dodgy fucker here. That's mischief. Excuse me. The worst heartburn after that Eggs Benedict. Jesus, I can't even say the word without it hurting. Anywho, this is where I love Italy. Don't get too fast. I think I should do it. I'm going to fetch my fuck it. Didn't look at all, not paying any attention, nothing at all. And this is where I end the video.